YouTube and wrestling fans. This is Old School Ted 1. And what I want to cover now is sort of my top 8 of the NXT rookies at the moment. Uh, these are my thoughts and opinions on how I see the rookies playing out and kind of where I see them going as far as future possibly can work out. I have mine ranked out from 8 to 1, and I'll start with number 8. And my number 8 and number 7 are a bit interchangeable, but I have to really say that my number 8, the one I think should be eliminated next week, is the A-lister David Otunga. Okay, now bear with me here. I know he's got a lot of charisma. I know he seems to come across as um, a decent, a possible really good heel down the road. Like he's got the skills to irritate people in his discussion, his mic skills, and he's eloquent. Comes across as an intelligent guy. I think he's got a lot of talent, but he may be actually better off as a, say, a manager than as a wrestler, because my biggest problem is his in-ring product. His best match so far was probably the tag match he had against Daniel Bryan and Michael Tarver, and or last night's match may be close, but on a scale of 1 to 10, for his mic skills and for everything, I give him about a 7 or 8. Really good. For his wrestling, maybe a 2. So I'm no math genius when you break those down. Uh, that means he's basically around between 4 and 4.5 to 5 out of 10, and not impressed at all by that. Okay, moving on to number 7. Number 7 would be Michael Tarver. Mr. Tarver, as he was known in FCW, I think has kind of gotten a raw end of the deal. Pun not really intended, but he really hasn't had a chance to really grow until recently in the last few weeks. His mic skills are okay. Sometimes you get a bit confused by what he's trying to say, but I don't see that's too much of a problem. I would have liked more aggression out of him so far. He had a pretty good match last night against Daniel Bryan, which he won. But I hope he doesn't get eliminated. But I can't see any way that he's not going to get eliminated next week. But I see him as number 7. I think he's got skills. I give his ring skills about a 6. No, I give him about I'd say 6 or 7, and then I give his mic skills about a 5 or 6. So he comes out, I'd say about 6.5. Let's give him 6.25 stars for his overall performance so far in NXT. All right, so number 6 would be Darren Young. Darren Young has had, for a while, had the hottest storyline with him and CM Punk going. They had the "you were going to cut his hair" thing before the pay-per-view, with Mysterio making the save. He really seemed to become in his own, and then for whatever reason, it's really slowed down since then. They had CM Punk kind of help him out last week, but not enough. He is just they need either more time or give him more focus. I think as they knock guys off and they begin to get smaller, you're going to be able to see more storylines, be able to come up out of it. And I could definitely see Darren Young becoming part of the Straight Society after the whole NXT thing, getting his head shaved and just going for it. For Tarver, if I had to say future, he'd be a good Virgil, now that Ted DiBiase is looking for one. Or just kind of a, attached to someone's entourage as sort of a bodyguard. Maybe he and David Otunga could hook up, because David Otunga's mic skills would definitely work. Okay, but that's number 6 is Darren Young. Number 5 is Skip Sheffield, Mr. Yip, whatever. He's really started to impress me in recent weeks. His wrestling skills is definitely there. He's definitely agile and quick for a guy his size. Really strong. Decent on the mic. He's got his catchphrases. He needs to be a bit more polished up, but his in-ring skills and his overall look and presentation, I would probably give him 6.5, about the same as I'd give Darren Young, about 6.5 stars. I just think Skip Sheffield's just got that little something extra. Plus, he has William Regal as his mentor, if you will, and I definitely think William Regal, if they use him right, can really add to him. Because I think some of these guys, the rookies, can be really helped out by their pros. Michael Tarver with Carlito, maybe not as much. David Otunga with R-Truth, not as much, but at least you get some things. CM Punk is helping out Darren Young, which is good. So now we go to number 4. And my number 4 will surprise some people if you watch my other videos. My number 4 would be Daniel Bryan. All right. Now I'm saying this mainly because of the win-loss record thing, and the fact that on average his matches have been lasting about 2 minutes. Um, I mean, even if I had the 5-minute match from just from Raw, his matches are still really short. It's almost like you're trying to hobble his ability, and that's really, really frustrating. Also, some of these guys who you didn't see a lot of, like Skip Sheffield early on or Tarver, you really got to see what they could do in the ring against Daniel Bryan, even Darren Young. The wins against Daniel Bryan, more so Young, or more so Sheffield and Tarver, that you got to see exactly their skills against Daniel Bryan. And I really want to see them step it up and do some more with Daniel Bryan. I just do. He's so good. His ring skills, I give him a 10 right now, or 9. Actually, I should be more cynical. I'd say about an 8.5. 8.5, and his mic skills about a 6, because he's projecting a character right now. Say average about 7-ish for him overall. He's, I mean, if they release him next week, he should go straight to Raw or SmackDown. Sort of have Raw would work better because you could have a guest and host bring him in and say, "Hey, I want to see what I can do against X." So, I'd like to see them hang on so that he can eventually get a shot at Miz, but we'll see. Moving on, number 3 is one I really don't want to give. Number 3 is to Heath Slater. Good win-loss record, but he reminds me a lot of Billy Gunn. Funny enough, he's okay on the mic, he's okay in the ring, but he's just got this awkwardness that I can't put my finger on. Billy Gunn syndrome. One of my friends and I were joking about that, but there you go. I wished he didn't. I mean, he comes to the ring like the one-man rock band or whatever they call it. Nah, I just don't have any interest in it. His in-ring ability is okay. It's like the generic babyface offense set, if number 1 sort of thing. Not too impressed, but his win-loss record, his ability on the mic, the way they're pushing him has had forced me to put him number 3. I'd actually give him 6.75 stars, less than Bryan, but right now he's got to get 3rd place because of the way they're pushing him and the way that everything's working out for him right now. So there you go. Number 2 is Justin Gabriel. They really haven't gotten him a lot of map time recently, and I think 3 weeks ago he beat Tarver, or not Tarver, David Otunga in the ring when Otunga was begging R-Truth. And that was more to set up that storyline than really to show Justin Gabriel what he can do. And even the pros pointed out that right now he's just a one-move guy, so we'll see. And my number 1 guy is, well, you got to be right now, is Wade Barrett. He's just done so much. He has the best pro, Chris Jericho, helping him out. Chris Jericho has made this very funny, very interactive with the fans. Um, he said his catchphrase in a way, NXT catchphrase, I should say, to the announcers by yelling at them, actually yelling at them on Raw. He said they should talk more about Wade Barrett. He did that before, and I fell down laughing. So did Cole and Josh Matthews. But he's got the charisma in the ring. He's got a fair amount of his moveset's pretty decent. His match against Cena was actually not as good as I thought it was going to be, but there you go. I think he could easily be deposited in either show right now and find a spot for himself. But those are my top 10. If you disagree with me, go ahead and put your own. But those are my thoughts. Old School Ted 1, take care.